wicked old children.
Biflicated!
Gallant take.
I'm after pushing the right shoe and the left one. And the left shoe and the right one. I hear you, Rosine!
My defiance to you then, Cormacine.
Baldy run, baldy run, baldy run! Take that now, everyone! Harmony! Come to me!
Come to me, she is, and I hear her. Look at the soft soothing she beginning, or pure diplomacy.
My chest is cracking. Let me run! Let me strike them!
And nothing will happen to you unless by accident.
It's a terrible country. It's a terrible country.
My crown of beautiful Egyptian robe. Go!
Go down the milk barn, but we'll go home by Barna. We won't go home across the bog for fear we might meet Carney's dog. Won't go home across the bog, but we'll go home by Barna.
That is it. And by the gad, you put on the head down, I'm thinking. It isn't unknown to her the hidden mystery of the strange flight that has come on the ladder. Still, we tell her the plain, honest and candid truth. It's a kind of shake that has given us to think of the ladder putting down his name for that sham battle or tournament or whatever it is in the line of sport the king is giving, and to be leaving us dull of it.
Leaving us dull of it, Tig, and again you're talking.
If it isn't too big in himself he's becoming, after all his victories, and all massing his poor uncles in the heel. Bad right for him, Donica, and we the Foleens neglecting house and home, tearing through the whole world after him, cheering him and backing him up in every battle he ever gave under. They'll take counting, let alone it being 7 years now he's the champion of Carawera.
7 years, Tig, and 'tis well who know it.
The price of us maybe, and the pride we had out of him, fair day and holy day. 'Tis we were the Jackie Dawes, he'll have ballooing and making a show. And how could we help it, says you? And he the finest warrant in every line of agility ever seen in Carawera. All world peppering and dread of him since the day that shabby Tomas clobber in the wrestling match. Tomas that no one got the better of before that day, and lived from the devil moreover and he the terror of the 3 counties. But sure, God forgive him. We go in a pair of ninny hammers knowing nothing, and the strangers had said wise of it that he had given in his name for that tournament.
The stranger's wise of it, Tig, and again you're talking.
Herself is shaking the head, and herself is shrugging the shoulders. Donica, it might be a prank he's playing us, but if he is, let him volley on for where bowl men when we're put to it. Herself is making a fuss. Isn't it enough that devil she is the one speak? And wouldn't give us the satisfaction even of letting us know what tide he has taken and raking us over that tournament. Lady of the house, will a syllable at all come from you itself? Hush, my dearest, honest, ignorant, and respectable sister. Is there anything troubling you besides your age?
Listening to you, I am, you pair of gumalogs, that the day the Almighty God was sent you into this world did not treat shakes out of you in a pure puzzle, whether he would plant you in the globe in the shape of two complete fools, for it's above in the room he is for himself, and 'tisn't his first time making for it, like my today that's in it.
Curious canter for the like of him. Just wronging him with well done, but is it serious entirely, the rheumatism or the heart disease?
The flutterings and the breast bone down.
The day before yesterday, after putting in of Mrs. Pringle's hair, he was all serene
Red as a rosy and brave in his talk.
and eating as good as the next. Shut with myself saw him have his 2 cups of tea, his 2 eggs, and his 3 cups of bread and butter.
His pound of perk at dinner and his suitable share of spuds and cabbage.
In that manner, I'll engage is nothing. A megrim it could be, or maybe a sudden spasm of indigestion. Isn't there salt and sin in the draw by you, woman? Draw the sin, says you won't drink the salt.
What'll cure a cow will cure a calf.
The colour's changing by you now, my pale heroes, and you hear him at it.
Oh, saints above, listen to me again. In the name of God, Punch, what's he at? Or what's on him at all?
What's on him, says you? I'm bewildered with 3 days thinking what's on him or what wasn't on him. He moaning, he groaning, and making strange motions, and giving no re-hearing to the questions I was putting him, and yourself knowing it, and he showing no signs of a disease. But if it's tormented and puzzled I was, it's 50 times worse I am now in the day that's in it, with my bucko in the notion, and coming unbossing me and telling me a queer thing.
And is it telling you on the hot here and in the daytime?
Haven't I after saying it is? And there is no gone since the whip came to him. It's nothing I know about his fights, and it's nothing I know about his wrestling matches. A curious thing if I did. A hard-working woman with trouble enough on me, and always trying to keep the shanty over our heads. And
Our Dermodine, that flakes the world, to be dependent on a box like blackening or an affair of putting in a chilblain. With great patience, I'd be listening to you itself. A strange thing occurred to myself for Friday night, and when I woke up, she didn't like the dame here with her cold eye of a story, and she dozing over the fire with her bully feet of beans.
True for you, Tig.
And it's coming down, I finished, so be talking to yourselves.
There it is. And nothing in it. Not as much as the black urine that scraped to the veins of nicety. And I the fool for thinking 'twould never give out. No, it is not for them that can comprehend the power and the virtue of what was inside in that box. Now the chief part of the pleasure of the world is vanished and gone from me entirely, my darling ointment.
A 30 canister. And to do nicely to keep waiting to go fishing of a floody day. What was that about a dab of all ointment from the apothecary? And that old hag persuading you to do this and that, and then without doing it. And she's surely in a league with the old boy. But she be the smart hag, and to take 50 hags at set to convince Tig of the trees that that fill of that ointment would make a top notch of Dermody roll.
I believe you, Tig, it would, and darling to you, Tig.
Tomorrow is the day of the tournament. Dear me, laugh. 'Twas he who was the gay man on the eve of who should has been. and they tussle like the hound for the hare. 'Twas his way, and it born in him, to go roving in the battling way. Nothing for him now, but battling still. And God help us. Just stuck in him to such an extent. But there'll be no pleasure for him in it this turn. For anything he'll do will be by accident. Then he minus the knack and the cleverness he got from the ointment. It will be 15 times he tried to exempt him from himself from this tournament. But if he did, 15 times still it failed him.
Oh, thank God for that then. For it shows you're not bewitched entirely, and that the champion man inside you gave you the refuse and the craven over a silly fight, and bring disgrace on your breed. 'Twas knew that this tournament might be some dandy little affair, but whatever it might be, the king given it will draw half the known world to it, and to be wishing to want to be listening to the stranger saying how Dermodine absented himself from the fray, and he after giving in his name, and after my bucko, to be the lovely white fella for Dermodine rule. Upon my soul, the 2 years will lighten up with shame on me at the very thought of it itself.
'Tis equal, bitch. But shame or no shame, it's only tomfoolery that's causing me to take part in the tournament. And I minus my ointment blue.
It's my advice to you, Dermodine, to give the affair to go by, and not to be striving to be doing a thing against the grain. I mightn't be too smart, but a thought came to me, and 'tis more I think of you than you two gazebos of uncles. If it's the right since the head, isn't it saying they're beating it for themselves, or cutting their scribe for their hands in the spuds? A fitter thing for their birds than keep you going in a champion man. In God's name then, give the backing to go by, and 'tis Henry itself who can withdraw from the tournament on the marked spot, and no less a person walking interested in Ace, can't it?
'Tisn't proud Aeneas, the king's factotum.
Proud Aeneas himself?
It would be easy to mistake the cut of that high diddle warrant, the way the big fellow is steering for, making for this cabin, putting one leg out and the other after, like a pension peeler, throwing the chest and shaping. It's welcome he is then, if we'll help Dermodine to get shot in the tournament. Though, what's bringing that proud gent to the shanty is a puzzle to me.
Oh, the tournament is coming, surely. Look at the cut of me. Instead of the joy of the world that be on me, on the eve of such an event, if things were the way they used to be, in bygone years. Look at me now. 'Tis a woeful, miserable hour.
Well, you wished! I wished again, I'm saying. And don't let Pulse be putting the damper on you. God knows it might be some compliment proud Aeneas is bringing you. Or maybe looking for your advice in it, well known the beauty of your battling career. If it isn't the way the tournament is something bigger than the fancy shindy we were thinking it. All the one deal, man, isn't it in the pinnacle of perfection you are, and get shot of your foolery? There, come on. Glory, 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 there's his ship. Ah, at the man, Dermodine. At the man and be the man, and let the devil turn in a chronology white man blue.
Folly roll, 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 folly roll. When Aeneas comes, Aeneas comes. When Aeneas goes, Aeneas goes. Aeneas Canty, adored by the generality, with the appellation of the proud, factotum in chief to Connacher, High King, exalted the state, but worthy the man, and Aeneas has said it, and it is said, folly roll, folly down,
Aberdeen a golden crown, the fame and glory in the name of the generation. Isn't it clear enough? Isn't it right enough? Isn't that putting you up to the moon?
Oh, God, the thought is rising me worse still. Cormac Keane has the notion of the hag of 5 yard and her ointment blue. The same trim as Anna was on myself at the time the women first came to me. Going by himself with the head under him, and he in a stand, and not a stir out of him, and he peeping in the direction of the haunted spot.
My shame, Aberdeen. Cormac Keane couldn't fight the flea if he had 50 hags that self-threaten him. And let shut teeth talk of your lunacy and be pondering the one thing, the real thing and the fine thing, the dandy golden crown.
If pondering could do it. Damn that hag more! In my early years, to be reneging me the ointment blue.
A murmuring I hear, and a gaping I espy, and I do hear it, and I do espy it. But let not the surprise be taking away the 7 senses, petrifying the perceptions, or coagulating the mentality, or bamboozling the conceptions. For marvels will happen, and marvels will be, though a golden crown will the victor say. I continue. Brooks run and rivers too. Grass grows and so do trees. Chip from the cricket and buzz from the bee. Silence, 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 silence. And may as he said it, and it is said, 40 roll, 40 down, 40 do, 40 dee, 40 dee do.
Fair. It's fine, I'll guff by him. But not alluding to that special word you picked up yourself lately and you above in the city of Cork.
Prestige!
As good maybe as some of the Roxy's after spitting out.
And as good as it? No, you fool, aim at 39 times better!
Tea, sweet veil.
Oh, thank God Dunica thought of it, for that's how I want to do it, Aberdeen. Prestige. When you have the prestige, you are what you were, whether you are what you were or not, or whether you ever were what was thought you were itself. And the Shawies will be quaking before the champion man of Tarawera, the net broken by the dint and the power of the prestige.
Still, tis not the same joy I get by winning the match for the meal of past exploits. And the old ingenuity gone from this brain, and the cleverness and the ingenuity missing from this right hand.
Well, if that's the case, then so be it. And the Cormac in Rope is singing a cock-a-doodle-doo!
Oh, will he then? Will he then? In prestige. Better that way than no way, says you. Prestige, prestige.
Oh, gallop to you, Tig. The prestige is right. Gallop to you, Tig, I'll say it.
And the answer said it, and it is said, and continuing to say, he now, and this minute, notifies one, Dermot Romalarchy, who is the last of the big batch of challengers, that he has likewise and similarly notified the day that's in it, to appear the day on tomorrow at 2 o'clock, new time and precise time, at the place of combat. The plot, alongside and contagious to the gable end of his kingship's habitation, namely, all that and those, the well-known gable end, facing north, and on which, and up against which, the blackguards will be playing handball for themselves every Sunday and holy day throughout the finer months of the year. It's plain and ought to be noted, and not to be doubted, like the Jackie from Dublin or the lower counties, who had the impudence to be doubting it, right fairness the face of Aeneas Canting himself.
Tis noted, proud Aeneas.
And why shouldn't it be noted? But imagine a Jackeen doubting the King's tournament!
And he did doubt it. And within the hour of him doubting it, I do be meeting him on my way to this shanty. And and doing the polite, and pointing out the way to him to sweet Jawar, and even giving his strangership an invite to his kingship's tournament. His kingship which? Says my brat with his cheek little gad. And why king, says he, and he giggling. I swelled and I heaved. But if I did, it's not forgetting who was Aeneas Canty and losing my dignity. The King of Ireland, says I, as cool as you like, and just like that, and the same as that, and that is the way I did say it. The King of Ireland, says he, deep giggling. And if it isn't in Kerry he lives, says he, 'tis in Cork. He lives, says I, where he has a right to live, says I, and where he has always lived, says I. And 'tis well, the Duke of Bella knows it, says I. If you don't, show him the white of my eyes. And I did show him the white of my eyes. And with that, he screeched, and the gent did screech, I'm saying. He screeched, and it's to scout down the road, and he shouting, lunatics! It's insulted was Aeneas Canty, and it's insulted is Aeneas Canty, and it's insulted still is Aeneas Canty. But being insulted, 'tisn't Aeneas Canty would be losing the sight of his eyes and he insulted. And what is he seeing, spotting and observing, if it isn't two girls he is seeing, spotting and observing, and it's their princess ships he is seeing, spotting and observing.
Their princess-ships! Glory be to God! Aeneas Canty! What would be bringing them to this poor cabin? And they having hundreds to do messages for their princess-ship? Oh.
What's bringing them is bringing them, and what isn't bringing them isn't bringing them, and oughtn't to be bringing them, and shouldn't be bringing them. It might be for a clutch of his eggs, and it might be for a clutch of his eggs. But if it is for a clutch of his eggs, and if it isn't for a clutch of his eggs, well, this business isn't Aeneas' business. Who's in the act of going, who's about to go, and who is going? Baldy-roll, baldy-roll, baldy-dum! Baldy-roll, baldy-roll, baldy-dum! Baldy-roll, baldy-roll.
He is going! What is the act?
No, never got it.
Swimming one another and taking the legs off each other. Glory be to God! Is in the middle of the floor you're stuck? 3 strong, able men would frighten the life out of their apprenticeships. Really could be up in the room and saying, in the name of the Almighty God, what delay is there on you?
Will you be giving us breathing? There's one word I must say to Deverdeen. Prestige and the golden crown!
Oh, damn it, you take prestige and the golden crown!
It's a scandal! It's a scandal! It's a scandal, I'm saying! And all because I'm a terror in the eyes of herself I'll engage! Posh, you take my part if you see the way I'm being left minus, and the damsel here getting married tomorrow for herself.
Nothing too good for her, if you please. With her sleepy eye and her sly go.
But believe you me, 'tisn't the queen she let get a peep of her now. And she's spluttering no shame at all in herself. A damsel going to the altar in the course of 24 hours.
There's no shame in getting married, Miss Roshi. You're too mad the Queen get married. And as young as you are, 'tis time enough for you getting married with the help of God. 'Tis time enough, ma'am. Or miss, I should say. Or your apprenticeships, I should say. I don't know what I'm saying or what I'm doing this day.
Don't be minding her, Pudge. For it's nothing I do be doing, but she ever and always blaming me for whatever would happen. But over this affair fit to stick, and as jealous as the Dickens she is itself.
Good job!
Isn't she woeful? And they give him up all the Barna country and all the Barna land. In a manner it's the sort of a queen she'd be, though my right should be as good as hers and we twins. And that would say sufficient either, Pat. listening through the keyhole. And the talk going on in the room between the ma and the dad. And a rich uncle from Texas who was making a match in the interest of sport. Roisin'd lose the life if she didn't give herself vent in speech. And she thought of you as being discreet. For it is a wonderful secret, it is entirely. The maids of honour full of it, but for some purpose till the hour of the tournament, tis we kept a hidden mystery from even proud Aeneas himself, Faldy-Rall.
But
in the name of Peter Potts, don't let the ground itself hear a word after you, or it's massacred and slaughtered will all be by her queenship.
Tis devil a fear that you'll be massacred. Elizabeth, spluttering, laughing again. Howbeit one satisfaction I have. For whatever power the Duke of Barna has over the da, 'tis a Protestant bishop he has sent down to marry the clipper here. And won't she be a nice spectre listening to the likes of him, striving maybe to make a super of her? And he a mangy old miser himself, reneging to call for the bill and water, for fear he'd have to give a coin to the servant girl.
Little two-flesh he'll be making for me, and I getting married after, unbeknownst, by a priest. In the meantime, it's her queenship herself I've seen, over in the house, out in the haggard. And by the same token, Podge, 'tis you she's looking for to be holding up her queenship's tail. Sure, that was Roisin's excuse for us to be coming over here, letting on we wanted a walk. But she forgetting all about it with the fit that's on her now.
Indeed, it's holding up her queenship tail I am for 30 years. And she always having more mass in me for doing it than the maids of honour. And it's a pleasure for me to be doing it. So there. I'm after pushing the right shoe on the left foot, and the left shoe on the right foot. This thing will carry me if I haven't.
Podge, now your best known apron now. We're taking the bishop out to give him a view of the countryside. I expect we'll all be accompanying him. Herself was all serene out of diplomacy before his bishopship. But be putting the legs on you now for we to know when they'll take the whip to skeet off for themselves.
Be putting the legs on the musician.
Oh, it's Scartaglin, and the lass, and every Sunday after mass, she will go and have a gas before going home by Barna. Did we ever think we'd live to see the day? All the Barna country and all the Barna lands. Oh, myself will be the Chief Justice. The lad won't renege me now when I have in all the qualifications.
Sweet veil take, but God forgive me if I can make a hog, doggle or divil out of it. God forgive me if I can.
Not the beauty of it, you little fool, Ian. And no one able to make a hog, dog or divil of what a Chief Justice will be giving out.
Gallant take.
But the lad who won't be forgetting his Uncle Donegal no less, who's able to make a dry wall with you in your prime, or keep up with yourself and sit in a dandy rigid digging. Fit, you must be considering what big tack you'll be having yourself done a couple of years.
Oh yes then. Now, let me be thinking now what I'll be.
You and all your talk, and he in half a run. Cormacine is in half a run, I'm saying. Oh, through the windy gap he's gone now. And I bet on all the books in Ireland he's heading for the home of the haggis thrown down.
If he is, let him. And we can be doing likewise and take the shortcut to boot. At the sight of us near the spot, he might take another notion and postpone his act of devilment. It's been kind for him to be shy and timid, like all the Hordens. But when the tournament is over, my hand to you for my part is welcome to alas Lord itself from behind
Let us be going. If there's ever a chance we have of doing any good, we need to be going, and he in half a run.
Let's go like the devil, like the devil we go. Like the devil is that thing, like the devil we will.
He will, is it? I mean a fixed piece acid. Will you recognise me speaking 3 words in itself? Glory be to God. What a hopple I'm in. What a hopple I'm in. What a hopple I'm in.
Oh. Come on. Oh. Ah! 'Tis well we're landed, for there ain't another puff left to me. Likewise, 2 old men in danger of breaking their bones, or losing their life itself striving to keep up with a limping champion bucko. And after all the tally-o, no trace of Carmacene coming from the east, or from the west, or from the high road or the low road. Not a fuck I can see, I'm saying. And the 2 eyes are dazzled by me for the want of a smoke. But Dullock has the fine sight, God bless him. And is there e'er a trace of the crandy you can perceive? And skeeting your eye over the distance and the lay of the land?
It's nothing I see taking the trees. It's something I see taking the trees. 'Tis well I knew. In fact, and fairity, it's a crowd I see taking the trees. And they're coming up this way by the low road. Proud and Ace foremost. And sure, 'tis the King's company is in it. I see the kingship and Father Moore. A thing in the shape of a scarecrow, which must be the old Protestant bishop. And her queenship walking alongside him. And sweet fealty, if I don't see her bold punch and she holding up her queenship's tail. But the maids of honour are after and the printership's bringing up the rear. Sweet fealty, if I don't see Carmacene is coming round and clipping by the fields and trying to get in from off their line. And by the way he's acting, I'd surely say he's making for this part.
Then after seeing it I am, 'tis well I knew. For when the right notion of the ointment takes hold of a warrant, whatever way it has of helping him find out where the hag is, and whatever way it has of helping her find out when the tide takes a hold of a man. First time she came to me, the first thing she said to me was, you were up to the tip, and 'tis few who aren't. But now, it's not me she's waiting for. Carmacene, by your rule.
Well, you let her be. Listen to yourself, said she wouldn't do pictures with St. Peter himself if he came knocking at her hall door after the hour of 5 o'clock, the time she does be making for her tea. It'll be great work if we can't keep Carmacene in tow. But Donegal will tell us, and it's his speciality, not to be put out and reading the time by the sun.
Not picking no pride out of it taking the trees, and it isn't like old Sean Darragh, we've gotten the cash here. And if it isn't gone 20 minutes to 5, 'tis a bully fine liar you can be calling Donegal by.
Soul man. Moreover, Dermodine, and because yourself said it, that ointment don't be having no effect, unless in special cases, till it has been working for the 24 hours. Talking now I am as if I believed in it, and I say it is nothing but the devilment of tomfoolery. But consider the wonderful look you had in getting wind of our princessships and the Barna lands. Think of the ferocity that will put into you over and above the other challengers. A thing that would make the weakest and most cowardly strain themselves to the lashlings and burst his guts. 'Tis like the will of God it is, and what with the prestige and all, to make it every hop there should be, and the fight as good as won.
It is what? 'Tis well I understand all the points that are in my favour, but look at her. There she is. The hag. Look at her. The cousin. Pay no notice me. A look of stone. It's the flashing lively glance she gives, with the 2 eyes beaming inside her head when her warrant walks by. Well, damn the hag, I say! And damn her again, I say! And may the devil himself take her!
Too long he's taken her, and 'tisn't dependent on him, but let us roll her!
Tig is thinking.
Oh, 'tis thinking I am. But it's a bowlful I always was in the line of Pishogues. And the patience is totally finished with me over herself and her apron blue. What crime is there in quenching an old hag, I'm saying? What right has the like of her to be shaping in the world for 1,000 years, while the decentest of Christians are put to the pin of their collar? It's great to their 10. Come on then, let's make a drive at her. Let's whisk her off that stone and send her rolling to blazes down the steep incline. Come on, lads.
Take me.
Come on.
If I can.
Whisht! Let us be doing it. Yes, madam, let us be doing it.
Come on. Come on, Dahlia. Right? Come on, Dahlia. We have her. Hold her. Get her down. We have her. Hold her. Hold her. Hold her, Demodine. Hold her. Hold her. Come on! 1, 2, 3. Now the scarecrows can be picking at her and she down the grave. But look here, I thought of it. And I'm the hair put on my conscience. But be smiling, Donica. You're fancying a bit of the dumps you are. You wait until after the tournament, Donica boy.
Haven't I recovering fast, Tig? As good as recovered, Tig.
Aye.
Oh, but it's true game itself, you are taking the trees.
We got her by will.
The wasted game that I'm thinking. And this trip. And the hang back again. Set up on the stone as if a puff had blown. It was madness in me, surely. The hang could be destroyed. Madness in me, surely, the way I am. And here comes Scartaglin.
Carmageen! Come to me!
Come to me, she is. And I hear her, the yellow-haired lady sitting on a stone. And it come to me in a vision the 3 nights following that she was wanting me. And I recognise it. The identical spot that appeared to me in my dreams.
Will you be having sense, man? And no yellow-haired lady here. Only an old hag as grey as a badger, and every tooth have the length of the tongues. And that's what has us on guard here, for fear she doing harm to any of the king's company. But don't the devil come to people in their dreams, that you'll be saying? And you might be as well know to make a wheel about for yourself and wind off home double quick out of this unhealthy spot.
She appeared to me first. And the dreams likewise. It was the identical case for both of us, and I wager he wouldn't budge.
Wherefore should I be going home then? And I a challenger for the tournament. And it come to my brain the very night has gone for me that the lady has something in her box. That might be the means we win the golden crown. And the thing itself, the colour of the heavenly blue.
Will you whisht? And whisht again, I'm saying. Nonsense! It's blackening you were dreaming of Carmageen Og. And tomorrow holy day and a shine wanting your high lows. It's surprised I am, indeed ashamed I am, to hear a decent garçon taking such a queer fit. Oh. And is it trying to force, ask me you are, override proud Aeneas? And he in it, and here he is.
'Tis an wishing I am to be acting unseemly, but at the same time, for what or for why should I be putting impediments to me?
It is no impediments I want to be putting to my buckle. But if it's a duke you were itself, isn't it be quiet you should be, and have manners, and be conducting yourself until the procession passes? Huh? Look at the glare the big fella gave you. In the name of God, man, is it wishing you ought to land me in a pure faint with the dint of shame and fright?
Multifarious are the duties of Aeneas Canty. Wanting to him are all his ingenuities, whilst lubricating his intellect are his special attributes of probity and perspicacity. Dignity is his gift, but impartiality is his qualification. And 'tisn't for frivolity or fresh air that Aeneas proceeds his kingship's company, but to deliver a certain and particular duty, namely to the people of the highways and the byways, his kingship's strict injunction against all ceremonies, hats offing, bowing, or scraping, overripe the procession out as an appetizer before eating. And having come to deliver it, it is delivered. Faulty roll, faulty dum, faulty do, faulty dee do.
Some fine rocks he's after spit now, but God forgive me, but multifarious nearly beats prestige.
He hasn't the notion of the right walloper I was keeping up my sleeve. Spifflicated!
Tea. Impartiality is his qualification. Appropriate the thought. Not alluding to the presence of a certain champion I now see foreigners me. For who, if not Aeneas Canty, is to be the referee and decider of his kingship's tournament? And if not Aeneas Canty was to be the decider, and every big who shall in his kingship's domain these past 30 years and more, and I ask, if not Aeneas Canty, who was it, or who could it be? And it is asked, faulty roll, faulty dum, faulty do, faulty dee do.
And why shouldn't it be asked? But the partiality this top-notcher here, this chicken here 20 times and more?
Is it the fooling I am? As because a dormant will be put to me the impediments.
Tut, I'm saying, tut, for think not a word, phrase, or bubble speech can move, shift, or divert by hair the justice of proud Aeneas' judgment, or make him wink an eye, pause, look, or creep. So much so I finish, and having come to deliver his kingship's message, I have delivered it, and it is delivered, and I'm about to pass. I'm in the act of passing, and I am passing. Baldy roll, 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 baldy roll,
Carmokeen, come to me.
The king, you diggle! The king, your father more, you
Be having patience, your kingship, be having patience. In 48 more hours we read the bishop, and we hasten him back to where he came from.
48 hours? More dealing with the side of him! A misfortune was down on me the day I had dealings with the Duke of Barna. It wouldn't be down coming. Wouldn't be down to be having this Protestant bishop coming down making a super of me darling daughter. But he'd be having whims, and he'd be having capers. He won't drink whiskey. No. And he won't drink porter. But he'd be considering, if you please, to be taking a share of the best part of the day of the tournament.
We said by your queenship and take him softly. Look at the soft soothing she'll be giving him. Or pure diplomacy.
I fought in a foam! Something will give it this temper me don't get bent. My chest is cracking. It's itching I am for a clout. And it's me bad darling Boscon Sogger. Let me roar! Let me strike! Let me slash! Oh, for good day with the hounds. Tally ho the fox. Let us walk. Let us prance. Let us run. Let us puff the fresh air and take aim at the sun.
A great soul, a great soul.
Wait for me, you creature. Wait for me, oh my God. Oh, you creature. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh, It's a terrible country. It's a terrible country. Far too rough for me. Indeed, I should have insisted on one of our younger clergy taking my place. There I was, expecting to see an old Irish king with flowing beard, rather silly looking, of course. My goodness! And your queenship will be excusing me. Why, he's just like one of our bold, bad Norman squires.
That vagabond! That vagabond! But for that duck and that hen! Your bishopship can be easy in yourself. 'Tis only a way with him Connacher has, and he's only funning with that stick. In the whole course of his life, faction fights and all, I wouldn't credit he has killed more than 50 men.
Your queenship!
Oh, but never touched a bishop or any sort of a clergyman, did Connacher.
Tis pleasant indeed to hear that, your queenship. But if some do whisper of supers, let them know that I simply want to make a decent Protestant of
Oh! Perfectly understood, your bishopship, and rely upon me to the people hereabouts, who have a far greater sense of understanding than strangers imagine, will comprehend your position, and nothing will happen to you, unless by accident.
It is grateful I am to your queenship for your courtesy and consideration. But still, I can't help remarking again, it's a terrible And besides, your queenship parted from my own dear spouse, Alicia. Why, your queenship, it was only last week that we went buying together for our parlour the new wallpaper with the nice, modest border.
How sweet, your bishopship.
It is sweet, your queenship.
Valuable! Valuable!
But doesn't her she be charging with letting a peep at the big boy near the hitch?
Oh, when you notice a big blind that's in it.
It's a blind I am entirely weak. Will you howl, you stinking beard?
No, sit down.
Isn't the drawing is on yourself, you are, and you as cross as the cats? And if it isn't an old maid you are yet, it's worth showing to me what you will be.
Maybe I might have been. And maybe the rich uncle has Texas has something up his sleeve for me you're shy of. Take that now, Maureen one!
I hear you, routine!
Mad, he is entirely after the sight of the big people.
And as if there weren't one matter. He'd frighten if you know the thoughts were raging in my brain.
Is it the procession over? And wherefore should we still coming and stopping me? Or up to some game, wishing to trot me in the look and the chance that's come to me, and I in the way, if you're capturing a lovely game.
My shame, Conky. To say the life for nice respectable people. I wonder am I rightly stopping you in bad cross what to your mind? Thank God it was myself and Dunica who didn't know a man from a woman till we were out 40 years of age, the time we let Madgen jump to the altar.
In our innocence take, we didn't. The clock bell could be gonging any minute in the king's house, and it up to the tip of the hour. I guarantee you take.
But she's not alluding to the sin of gallivanting, I am. But in the heel, I seen complete foolery taking possession of your brains, and you smiling at the Queen's daughters. I was shivering for the fear of my dare even look at them. It would be great shame in me if I let a neighbour's son go wrong for the want of saying what I ought to say.
Sure it would take. And if you've the grace of God, Cormac now, be listening to Take of the Trees there, who can give as good advice as a priest.
First and foremost in Cormac, don't be deluding yourself with the maids of honour. For a man at the Driscolls is after telling me that the Queen of the Dibbleginch courting and has made an order that all the challengers be rigged out in the gammiest of all duds. That's to ensure that the maids don't be taken in by the shapes and the methods of battling to be queer according a stroke that way instead of a stroke this way. And if we give a stroke the other way, you're disqualified in a manner you might as well be a Donani of 60 as a young buck of 20 in the peep show you cut when you went to the fray for the golden crown.
Even so itself, and if there's never a maid of honour from here to Ballythehop, won't there be an almighty glory win the golden crown? But what am I saying? It's because of Dermot you're acting and wanting him to have the glory. Well, step aside then, will you? And not be stopping me more, or who dare be stopping me more, or upon my soul I'll screech!
Ha! Isn't it after saying I'm not stopping you? And maybe 'tis you stopping me and I wanting to go my way. And if it isn't you, maybe 'tis me will screech. But you know here in Dermodine saying we want the glory for Dermodine, who was our hearts broke and we're striving in vain to put him off this mad canter. Are we here? And if it's a word we say itself, isn't it in our goodness we'll say it, striving to keep a decent neighbour's son from the same fate?
In our goodness, Take of the Trees, and no thanks for a take.
Cut the ear off me now, Cormac Nog. But is a dear happier man you be with your cow, and Mag Quilter has the graph for you, than chasing after a will-o'-the-wisp of glory. You win the golden crown and you'll be a fine fella for a bit. A curiosity for the quality. Are you listening to me? I am. Oh, we'll be serene for a day or two. But I'd like to see you a poor boy in the course of a week, striving for to make for their hall door, with their scowl and them and their roaring for their mastiff. And Oscar bra, when you were running like the devil trying to make your escape, the twice lipping out of your head and that trousers head up. And all the people on all sides having every jeer at you and every laugh at you, and the hilly-ballooing insults at Cormac in his spaghetti of a golden crown.
Who'll be striving to cool me, and who'll be striving to cool me.
The bell is ringing at this hour.
Oh, down in the bell and the glory of the world to you, Take.
The bell! Gong the bell!
Cormac! Cormac! 'Tis something I have that will out you in glee.
The bell is gonging, says they. And be coming, Cormac, says see. So the bell can be gonging. For Cormac is coming. And coming is Cormac in boy. It's a decent little affair, this. I bet it's heavy enough. And why wouldn't it be? And the rich stuff in it, says you. It's overjoyed I am. I could nearly lip and yell.
Maybe I'll make you yell on the other side of your puny jaw. For 'tis mine by rights, and only the hag doing me an injustice by giving it to those who might be. But by Jabers, what will happen? I must have it!
Is there ever a meaner act? And you, the big up fighter, big opinion of itself, to be taking a poor Antruck's property, and it is look. Fair play is honey play. But it's no Irishman you are to be doing the likes. It's a dirty Saxon.
What right had you, or anyone else, to be going challenging
a reputation mate. He's done now.
Ah, let's be taking him from the ointment.
Wait a while. Let me see. Though 'tis 5 be the clock, and 'tis time for me tea. Run home now, garçon, for the sun's going down, and the daffodils are calling to the hag of Shruna.
Go home, I will then, and happen quickly. Why, what long time life there said that last give up.
May the curse of the crows pursue you! And likewise may the curse of the crows fall on that hag and her blasted ointment flew! Where's the use in my raging? There's a course head out for every man. But there's a feeling in me now. I could pull a tree from its roots and flat it on the ground and knock down a dry wall with one almighty stroke.
Oh, he's the weird there was to hear you talk like that, and then against the grain with me all that toothless about the ointment blue. It's the same Dermodine you are, and you always were, and tomorrow I'll tell a lot bad one of all that crowd.
Gallant! It can't have been the ointment that made me do all I ever done. The conqueror of 20 fights. Something must have been in me surely, above and beyond the power and the virtue of what was inside the ointment. 'Twas the imaginations were the cowarding of me. But it'll be the realities the making of Dermodine once again. A champion man!
Oh, the lad or the maker, the lad I'd say!
Oh, the lad taking the trees, the buckler taking the trees, the gallant you No longer in dread I am, and I waiting for the minute, the hour, the signal for the fearsome fray. Rising to the end, seeing what's at stake. But if it should happen that the great Dermodine should fail. No. No tears. No tears, I'm saying, no tears now. Be brave in hearing it. If it should happen that the great Dermodine should fail, there'll be a queer change seen in the moon. And hailstones will rain down on the slates in the shape of black goose eggs. And thunder will be heard throughout Ireland and the known world itself, if it should happen that the great Dermodine Rue Malachy goes down.
All is in readiness for the tally-ho. And it's up to the minute for the sport to commence. Crowding is at the finish of his discourse to the challengers, and you can hear him dishing it out to them in that old cant of his beyond the barn. 'Tis that tumbling big gent he is entirely, with his collar and tie and new top hat in him. But 'tisn't troubling us he need be, as long as he conducts himself in a suitable referee. Hey, I know a precious sheep has nished on the ladder. Got a curl or a quaver out of him, and Aeneas explained to himself and the rest the whimsicalities of the battle.
Not a colour or a quaver out of him, Tig. Darling to you, there isn't.
Hey, let us be making for our seats for ourselves without impudence, but independent in ourselves, knowing what we know.
Sound to you, Tig.
It's in great blood we should be. And don't let me get a hint from you. It's a misgiving might be coming into your mind that the ladder might be getting a sudden relapse into his queer fit. Let's be throwing the chest for ourselves. Heads up. Big gums we be. And don't let that character there put the damper on us. That's a mere looking character with the crowns. A huckster of a merchant vying for the sale of the prize for the tournament. But she's equal to us. Which price they'll wear, but maybe we don't know who'll wear the article when the belting is over.
Maybe we don't, Tig. Tig, maybe we don't. And I promise you, and I now knowing him only to be a screed of a merchant, 'tisn't into fit of the doddlings the curiosities will land me, even if he is as ferocious looking as the devil itself. But at first fit, I was surely taking him to be a duke by his tawny get-up, or at the very least a marquis.
Yeah.
In great blood take and throw in the chest and take, sweet veil, I call you.
It is neat the spot with fiction. 'Tis elegant the other sceneries. Just the great view we'll have it set of his bishopship will be perched right for Nensus up in this corner. The decanter of wine wouldn't do that old Sliabh Luachra. There'll 4 more bully bottles of it to boot.
The show off and the respectability take overwrite the foreigner.
The great clatter coming.
And the king will be sitting here.
The king himself will be perched right there in front of us up in this corner. The proud appearance of their lions and tigers cut out on top might tell us.
High faith, they're lions and tigers. And glory, but the eye of the eagle is in the eye of take of the trees.
The ground of the battery. A great clatter entirely.
Her queenship be gob. No, 'tis Podge and the bishopship be gob.
Tis the order on the way, great cloud entirely. Great clatter all together.
The sun's off. The character over there.
Scarred you for retainers is a purpose or dumb, a bamboozle you are, and are set finished and advancing in state. As a dear we go and take you yours and remain giving the quick salute. Pity proud Nathan foremost gets one of you by the ear. It's a hot good make I'm thinking. But here's some queenship I'm singing. Catch the cans and bed. Catch the cans and bed. Your bishopship will be comfortable there for yourself, I'm thinking. And you'll be excusing me for leaving you. For it's an eye I have to keep on many things connected with this important event. It being a canter with Connacher to take the world easy. Be taking your jurum now and be excusing me your bishopship.
A little wine I shall take for the stomach's sake, and my thanks to your queenship. And Lord, deign to preserve me alive through this fearful ordeal in this fearful place.
Paul, you have spoken to the maids and given my orders. 'Tis do it I am, your queenship, and 'tis a sorry job I have with them. Thespian, and they lipping off their skins after their fat chops for breakfast. Is it again I have to be telling you to keep your hands on your lap, and they've been beat, raped, ugly hands? And her queenship wanting no vanities or devices to be seducing the challengers. They're all fixed up now, your queenship, if they stay fixed. You know me, you hussies, and let me not have another word of insubordination on the part of one or either of you. Podge, a word with me here. We'll be having a tint now as good as the next upset, all as we are by Protestant bishops and so forth, though a change would come in the moon before Connacher would offer us a taste. You'll be having a tint yourself, Podge. The least little wishy sign, your queenship. 'Tisn't used to it I am, you know, for it will go straight to my head. God spur you long, your queenship.
His kingship!
Softly the days long, and the missus saw a button on wrong.
A great soul, a great soul.
Here, there might be a spot to hide it. I took it and knows to herself. Now reserve. You never know what might be left around the house with every blackguard gulleting by the time the wedding feasting's finished.
Tiggin gumma.
Fighty's doing well for himself, this old gobbledeye. The sainted old curiosity. What fight has taken hold of the old schemer? Not another drop of precious liquor on the premises, barring 4 bottles beside him. On my soul, I don't know what to make of him for a gobbletight.
He could be pain inside of him by his appearance. He could be a very hairy customer. A gobfly.
Connacher, do be suitable. The bishop has sharp ears, and 50 times I have said his name is not Gobble Tight or Gobble Bite, but gobble fly. I'd be really obliged if you'd remember that. And you too, your sogger chip.
Gobble bite, we'll remember it. Gobble right, I'll think of it. But upon my soul, damn me, crease were. Let's have another glass of whiskey.
A great soul, a great soul.
I could fly away.
Is that a board I hear creaking?
And there was a board creaking, but unlike attorneys, apothecaries, and tinkers that are always on the creep for small things, seldom would Kingston making a hullabaloo about his silly little affair like a board creaking. But after a bad night, it would be his kingship's right to sweep the head off him who was the cause of there being a board creaking. But the board has ceased creaking, and having ceased creaking, let the merchants be advancing to his kingship, and in advancing let me bow, smith, and make obeisance to his kingship, and having bowed, smith, to make obeisance to his kingship, let them stake their prize in his kingship when selects the crown for the tournament, it being his kingship's right and privilege.
And me, 100 quid, your kingship. A mere 100 says me, thinker. All the money subscribed, leaving no balance for drinks. Hey, what? Scalp off.
A great soul. A great soul. A great soul.
Your turn, funny face, out with it.
£100.
Scalp off.
Why should I scalp off? An Ireland manufacturer.
Hey!
It's a curious thing. If the money made up by your kingship's subjects to build a library, but diverted by you to the interests of sport, to please your rich old miser of a brother from Texas, should not be spent on an article of home manufacture.
Hello!
More especially since the people have just learned the tournament is to be a veritable national.
Hey!
There's a monstrous thing, I repeat.
Sarah!
Is it daring you are? Is it daring you are taking the impudence to his kingship? Is it daring you are? He has given you the order to scalp off. Well, scalp off, I say! And scalp off to the pieces. And having scalped off, let the last merchant be advancing. And advancing, he being a Jew man, he will make his bargain with his kingship.
A Jew man but across the gong.
My feet lead to thee, and I flummox myself before thee. Conqueror, O great king. And behold, my crown of beautiful Egyptian rolled gold.
The price?
£200, and it please your kingship.
Too much.
£100, and it please your kingship.
Too much, too much.
£45, 9 shillings, and 7 pence halfpenny, and it please your kingship.
Nah, dear enough. But hang me if I haggle with a Jew man. Hey! Take your money. Sling your hook.
Hey, don't you know? Hey, hop.
By the Lord, Harry, something will blow if I don't kill. Shh, shh.
It's a good bargain he made for the crown. The queen should be getting her reg out.
What's that? Damn me, Priestmore, let's have another glass of whiskey.
Great soul.
The
country was Derby, bold and brave and gallant we see you. It's your chiefish town, and the lads will do it like a man. Hey!
Them that are opposed to me will soon know it. Murder is in my heart, and gripping I am for slaughter.
Oh!
The day's as good as one.
As good as one!
Nicely, and they are nicely, terrible and severe, awaiting the signal of the woeful struggle of his kingship's tongue. To be carried out in the form of combat, ordered by her queenship, was invented by her queenship, to supersede and take the place of all vulgar forms of combat as was seen suitable in her queenship's eyes. Displaying ferocity and turtosity by regulating impetuosity, animosity developing precocity, but eliminating monstrosity and peculiarity. And her queenship ought to be proud, and should be proud, and is proud, that the challengers are arranged her queenship's fancy.
Hey!
By the direction of one Aeneas and every mother's son of them likewise, being primed and tutored by the said Aeneas Canting, knows how to fight according to specifications. How to advance, prod, and pulver, retract, revert, and go back. Attack and counterattack. Parry and dodge. Utilizing the biceps. And scientifically push the forceps. Eliminating in evolutions and revolutions. Elaborating in convolutions. And cautiously sagaciating towards solutions. Perambulating and coruscating in hyperbolical, diabolical, and pathological devolutions. And Aeneas has said it, and it is said. Foldy roll, foldy roll, foldy dough, foldy dough, foldy dee, foldy dough.
Glory be to the Almighty God, take. But it's like out of a machine. They are old from him. The rocks!
You wished. He hasn't the notion of the right walloper I was keeping up my sleeve. I'll wait 9 minutes for justice of my opportunity. Things will come for me, then I'll put that fella in the halfpenny place.
I believe we'll take.
And I did say it was partly invented by her queenship. And perfected by her queenship. And after a certain number of days, months, and years, was happily christened by his kingship. And named and dignified as the fight Maria.
Now and accordingly. Now and accordingly, the hour being struck and the devil being hot. Yorick, Talio, give that order and let the fighters fight Maria!
And I'm about to do it, and I'm the act to do it, and I give it a whisker!
Gone finally to the first spasm. Pyjamas as patient made of them as 17. Oh, who will have fault about him now? Who is and was and ever will be the champion man of Talavera.
Oh, who'll be the fool, surely, Tig? Not alluding to the man of brain he has alongside me and back her up to you, Tig. Oh, gallant to you, Tig, I say. Come on, Dominic.
Challengers reform!
Want everything now?
Pulls the finisher and be acting gamely as we fix the semi-final of his Kinshop's
Great Scott! A turn across the floor and the Kirk of Fames will be no more. We dance, Roseanne. We dance.
We do, and we sing.
It's after then the mass, and every Sunday after mass, she will go and have a dance before going home by Barna.
Be having patience, your kingship.
I sit.
A great soul.
His kinship sits, and it's the moment for the finisher! And let the challengers be making a move on, and let the challengers be facing each other, and make, express, and deliver the phrases and remarks befitting the occasion, which are expected and which are allowed!
Go on, Dominic! My defiance to you then, Cormacine Cocker. And I call you a sheep stealer, a boulevard, and the hound of devil Edinburgh. Up the Malak is the decent people, higher our principles and great is our repute.
You have the repute of a tinker. And I fling back in the face to you. You're mean, you're mangy, and you're chorish life. I don't know what you want, but what do I find you? A big down move of a fool. Your aunt was a midwife, and your grandmother a knave. A big fella you, but your high antics like a horse, and you've the ears like an ass. Up to your roots, the gentles, and the fine people.
I'm raging, cheat, totally mad itself. His blood I must have. Hold me, Donica! Hold me tight!
I'll tell you, got all in this muscle spot. Hold me, Martin! Hold me,
Tis suitable and tis correct. Tis exciting and tis elevating. Holders, retire! Challengers in and you're in!
Hello, Javelin!
Commence! And you will commence! Continue! And you will continue until the who shall's over!
Come on! Come on!
And I declare the fight finished, and it's on points. I declare the fight finished. Bring forward the prize for the victor.
For the prize for the victor. Up, Germany, Lord, up on the
And let her princess ship be advancing.
What's up again? What's up again?
And let her princess ship be advancing to And though it's been a now since that his lace got wind of marrying, still there is to be a marrying, and let them be making their way to the altar. And let the crowd be following. And let his sovereignship be following them likewise, since his bishopship, through the act and through the fact of being non-compusensus, has forfeited his right to officiate. And he's about to rise, and he's in the act of rising, and he is rising!
But before rising, Tommy Priestmore, we'll have another glass of whiskey.
A great soul, a great soul.
What's that I hear? Louder and louder. Nearer and nearer. They're coming for me. With the dandy golden crown. Dermodine, the champion man. I'm the king of the Barna men!
It is not for what you are, I'm sorely in dread.
Give him whiskey. Nah, he's recovering. Give him.
'Tis I'm better I've been thinking.
Stop, Roshi! Stop!
Tisn't a stop I will, and I having liberty from my uncle in Texas, and he giving me a fine farm and 60 cows and a pair of horses and the grass of 30 dry heifers on a mountain. 'Tis a man I want, a big, strong, hairy, able man. And if Maury can have the winner, I'll have the runner-up.
And ship off good luck.
Be the Lord Harry. Jesus stuff. Beams out of my heels. Be the Lord Harry.
You be paying heed to me. Didn't the black goose that you seen of a hairpot? It's 60 cows and a princess-ship, a pair of horses and 30 dry heifers, a fine farm. A dandy chance for any poor man's son. So get shut teetotal of your foolery. Half a loaf is better than no bread.
Oh, my hand to you if it isn't, and it's Take of the Trees is talking. Suppose it had to be.
Oh, sure, 'tis wild about you, he's your princess-ship. And what? It's a bit shy, he is a bit itself. 'Tis 95 times a better man he is than the winner. But the misfortune on him, and he haven't the colic the day that's in it.
To the altar! For his kinship did give the order, and it's by him not he did give the order!
Hey, what's Oh, there's no use in talking. But the marvels of the world are in the brain of Take of the Trees. Darling to you and gallant to you and powerful to you forever. It's now 50 times St. Mail I call you.
Great Scott! What a shock! Hick! Taste it! Hick! Hock! Ah, yeah.
soul, a great soul.
Integrity, impartiality, probity, and severity. That's Aeneas Canty. Temptation to him is not temptation, but seeing as wedding days are wedding days, and tournaments are tournaments, that which I now spot, perceive, and see ought to be taken.
You're Prouchett to the wedding, and the whole world is calling for your Prouchett. I'm wondering, in the name of all that's good, what is keeping your Prouchett?
What's keeping his Prouchett is keeping his Prouchett, who never missed the right time or the dutiful time, and who will be on time, and it will be the right time, and it will suit his time. Now disappear, woman, and you are in the act of disappearing, and you are disappearing, you're about it, you have disappeared. And what ought to be taken, should be taken, is about to be taken, and it is taken. And Aeneas has said it, and it is said. Foldy roll, foldy roll, foldy roll. Foldy down, foldy down, foldy down.
Wicked old children.
You've been a fantastic audience, and it was lovely to play to you tonight, and thank you very much. We really enjoyed it. We're here again tomorrow night and Sunday night, and if you enjoyed it, we'd appreciate it if you'd pass the word on and tell your friends. And if you didn't, there are a few challengers here in the back row that would like to go to. There's also a play here the 28th of February, the 2nd and 3rd of March, the Zyber Theatre Company. They're doing the Heist House in the Mountain, John B's Heist House in the Mountain. So you might remember that for your diary as well. All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much.